I spoke with the sister of the woman whose body was found here at the Harris South End on the phone. She calls the death a murder following a pattern of domestic violence. She says the family is still waiting for answers from police while trying to raise money to lay her sister to rest in her native Jamaica and support the 3 kids she leaves behind. Family members are identifying the woman found dead in a luxury apartment in Boston's South End last Thursday night as Chantel Gillespie, pictured here after receiving a scholarship award at Mobay College of Healthcare last year. Loved ones say she had just finished her coursework for an associate's degree in nursing at the school in Milton 2 days before her body was found by Boston police during a well-being check. A GoFundMe page in memory of the mother of 3 children under the age of 6 raised more than $20,000 just 24 hours after being set up by her sister. It says, quote, "My sister had one goal in life, to make a better life for herself so her children would grow up wanting of nothing." She writes, quote, "Over all the years, she worked tirelessly to have a successful future while battling to break the cycle of domestic violence." She says Chantel immigrated to the United States from Jamaica in 2014 and spent the last 5 years working as a clinical assistant at Boston Children's. A statement sent to us by the hospital says, quote, "Chantel Gillespie was a valued member of our hospital family, known for her dedication, compassion, and unwavering commitment to the care of our patients." The president of Mobay College of Healthcare tells us, quote, "The Mobay community is deeply saddened by the loss of Chantel. Last week, she was completing the requirements to earn her nursing degree and was looking forward to her pinning in January." Her sister describes Chantel's future being ripped away, saying, quote, "She never received her degree, she never walked the stage, she never got to tell her children goodbye." And Chantel's sister says she wants to raise awareness to other victims suffering from domestic violence and is determined to find justice following her sister's death. Boston police tonight still waiting on autopsy results and have not publicly identified a person of interest in this case. Law enforcement sources tell us that this case is being investigated as a homicide.
On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on. A blessed and wonderful Wednesday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, you don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. We're going to kick it off with some updates. Then, of course, we get into the main set of stories. So the first update is of the university student Mathew Hyde, who pleaded guilty to basically torturing his ex-girlfriend. He has been sentenced to 15 years and 7 months in prison, but Hyde, who has been in custody since February of last year, will be released after another 13 years and 9 months based on time already served. So the sentence was handed down on Tuesday afternoon in the Home Circuit Court. Hyde pleaded guilty on September 26 to the offenses of assault occasioning grievous bodily harm and causing grievous bodily harm. He also pled guilty to the offenses of the use of malicious communication and false imprisonment. So during his sentencing hearing earlier this month, his attorney, that is Patrick Peterkin, had requested a 50% discount in sentencing for the time already spent in custody. Hyde has been in custody since February of 2023, but his attorney's request was rejected by the judge, who imposed the sentence of 15 years and 7 months. The judge basically tell the attorney, say no, him not get no farm a discount because to the video shown and what him do to the girl, she not take off nothing at all. Straight prison. She give him the full book. Yeah, man. So the judge also indicated that based on the 1 year and 10 months he has already spent in custody, he will then serve 13 months and 9 years behind bars. So for those who don't remember, the prosecution reported that on February the 23rd, 2023, Hyde, a 21-year-old biochemistry student, held his ex-girlfriend captive for 3 days in his bedroom on the campus of the University of the West Indies. It is said that he tortured the girl by the use of using a hot clothing iron, among other implements. Boy, may I tell you, Hyde got exactly what he deserved. Now the next update, my peeps. When you remember the criminal elements them last week where attempted to rob a supermarket in a Spaulding, that's right on the border of Clarendon and Manchester. Well, they have been officially charged by the police. So it was confirmed that they have been officially charged by Deputy Superintendent, the man in charge of the Manchester Police Division, that's Kerry Duncan. He stated that the men were charged on Thursday for the offenses of possession of prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and shooting with intent and wounding with intent, and using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony. The men have been named by the police. So the names are as follows. 26-year-old Andre Sim Hugh, otherwise known as 3D or Brown Man. The next criminal element has since been identified as 28-year-old Tony Kelly, otherwise known as Scooby or Poochie in the streets. The next criminal element has since been identified as 28-year-old Romain Dockery, otherwise known as Fungo. And last but most definitely not the least, 28-year-old Siobhan Carnegie, all of Clarendon addresses. So it was reported that the criminal elements was armed with a high-powered rifle and 3 handguns. They were all about to carry out a robbery at the supermarket in the town when they were challenged by a police patrol team. During the fiery exchange, 2 of the suspects get conned up and wounded. A policeman was also conned up and wounded in that firefight. The criminal elements saw that they were outnumbered by the squad of them and the JDF personnel and barricaded themselves inside the supermarket, which resulted in a major standoff with the police. Several shoppers and business operators were trapped inside the building with them. The suspects reportedly live-streamed their surrender to the police team. I made a comprehensive report on that vlog, so you can go back and watch it to see exactly what had taken place. Yeah, man. Again, another decent spot of work again by the squad of them. Now, my peeps, we're going to kick it off in the morning here with a really sad report as one of our nation's most vulnerable and also an icon in our nation, Barbara Gayle, a media personnel, a veteran journalist. Barbara Gayle lost her life in one of the most brutal and horrific ways possible. Now on your screen is a picture of the now deceased Barbara Gayle. So the police high command says investigations are following strong leads in their probe of the loss of life of the veteran journalist Barbara Gayle. The police stated that Miss Gayle was found lifeless at her home in a gated community in the Caymanas Country Club estate in Portmore, St. Catherine on Monday morning. Now, Senior Superintendent of Police Christopher Phillips, that's head of the Era 5 headquarters, told members of the media on Tuesday afternoon that Miss Gayle lost her life from multiple knife-up wounds to the neck. Her Mercedes-Benz motor vehicle was also stolen by the old dirty corner boy. Yeah, man, the thing rough. So now we are going to hear from the head of the St. Catherine South Police Division and also the head of the Era 5 Police Operations. That's Senior Superintendent of Police, Christopher Phillips, as he weighs in on this latest spate of crime affecting his police division. Listen.
What we're getting so far, she was last seen sometime after 3 yesterday, having a conversation with an unknown gentleman. Sometimes this morning, sometime after 10, residents who are used to a routine coming out in the mornings to check on them and to call to them, they never saw that usual activity, and so some residents went to check on her where the lifeless body was discovered. We are following strong leads at this time. We have the full support of all the investigative arm of the force giving full support right now. We are deeply saddened by this. It's really a very horrible scene.
I've known Barbara for more than 40 years. She reported on many of the trial cases I did from the mid-80s into the 90s. In recent decades, she brought many problems, concerns, and weaknesses in the court system to my attention and urged their correction. Barbara was renowned for her impactful court reporting and dedication to Jamaican media. She has passed away, leaving a legacy of excellence and integrity in journalism and court reporting. Barbara, you will be greatly missed.
I'm feeling very, very sad because she's one of the nicest person I've ever met, not only in this community, but in my entire life. She's a very, very, very good woman. She, even when you're having the saddest moment, major challenges, she would just make it look as if nothing is happening. And when she talked to you, you just feel relieved. She was very pleasant, very kind. She was a Christian woman. And when you have somebody like that in a community, it's very, very, very sad. I stayed home to work today. When I heard, I just could not lift a paper because, I can't believe she's really gone. I don't know who would want to kill such a wonderful person.
The voices heard in that voice clip was that of Senior Superintendent of Police, Christopher Phillips. Then after his voice was Delroy Chuck. And the final voice was Senator Donna Morris Dixon, who have all expressed their grief and has offered condolences to the bereaved families of the now deceased woman. Boy, may I tell you, it's rough. Now, what Christopher Phillips stated, that a senior superintendent, that she was seen last with a male having a conversation. Well, I have a video footage of that last conversation. So if anyone can figure out the person in the video, even if you're wrong, but please say it to the police so they can investigate to see if they can uncover this brutal and horrific murder. May I tell them, my peeps, them deal with the woman a certain type of way. Several knife up to the woman neck. Them deal with the thing really grimy. The perpetrator of this crime must be caught. So anyway, watch.
Jesus asked him, said, who do you say that I am? And they said, oh, you're one of the prophets. One some say you're Jeremiah, some say you're Isaiah, some say you're John the Baptist. And Jesus asked them again.
So that's a video footage collected by the police from her Ring doorbell. But no one knows for sure if the man seen standing right across from her was indeed the perpetrator of the crime, but he was the last person seen with her whilst she was still alive. So the police is asking you, the regular members of Chan Public, if you don't have any information at all that can assist them in their investigation, to please and do so, because it was done in a gated community in her home. So somebody must have seen something, whether they visually saw it themselves or a recording from their cameras, because nowadays almost everybody house have a camera on it. So assist the police. Yeah, man.
Confirm that retired journalist Barbara Gayle was today found in her house. What we're getting so far, she was last seen sometime after 3 yesterday, having a conversation with an unknown gentleman. Sometimes this morning, sometime after 10, residents who are used to a routine coming out in the mornings to check on them and to call to them, they never saw that usual activity, and so some residents went to check on her where the lifeless body was discovered. We are following strong leads at this time. We have the full support of all the investigative arm of the force giving full support right now. We are deeply saddened by this. It's really a very horrible scene, and we really extend condolences to the media family at this time, because I know that she's well known in that circle. Initial assessment is suggesting that she was stabbed multiple times to the right side of her neck, and we suspect she was also hit in the forehead.
So the next thing that we are going to talk about, just for show the brazenness of these criminal elements. A man ended up lose 3 pints yesterday along Sir Flowers Glasspool Boulevard. So a man was coming from the airport. Him just jumped off a flight, came in from Panama. The man charter one of them like a Jota tours taxi there. And when them reach right at the stoplight in the vicinity of Flour Mills, right there so, the taxi driver stop at the stoplight and a Toyota Fielder motor car pull up. It is said that the man were in at the passenger side at the Toyota Fielder pull up and start fire beer can into the windscreen from the passenger side and also the passenger door. Can up the man, leaving him lifeless, a lone upper body and headshot the man get. So the man who was on the receiving end of those fatal bullets is known as Rohan Campbell, 48 years old. He comes from St. James. So we don't know for sure what caused this, who carry out the hit, or whatsoever the case may be, but one thing for sure, Rohan Campbell from St. James is no longer among the land of the living. So I want you to look on the screen right now, my peeps, and look on the condition of the car. Look how the man them deal with the situation. Boy, may I tell you, the man them make sure say everything planned like a can in a man's chest and head. Look on the grouping, my peeps. This a man here who carry out the hit here definitely make sure say he's no longer among the land of the living. We have not gotten any report that the Jota taxi driver was harmed in any way. Give thanks for that. Now, on the spot news media, I forgot to do some digging, make some checks to see if we can figure out who really is this brother here, the now deceased man, Rohan Campbell, 48 years old, of a St. James address. Yeah, man. Then, of course, we're going to definitely update you in subsequent newscast. So for those who ask, I say, boy, what happened to the afternoon news on the spot? We're going to try to drop one for you later, but sometime I don't know, life happen, and we have to out there, I do the do same way, and I make sure, say, we cross all the T's and dot all the I's. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.